that you could fell an elm tree 12 urchins couldn't bring round, and hoist high the stone that Liam failed. With the last league-long rest of him, while the million-candled eye of Hopstar sweeps the Moylan main. There was never a warlord in Great Aarons and Bretland, no, nor in all Pike County like you, they say. No, nor a king, nor an ard king, bung king, sung king, or hung king, that you could fell an elm tree 12 urchins couldn't bring round, and hoist high the stone that Liam failed. Who but a McCullumore, the riser of our fortunes and the farmy man at the funeral, to compass our cause? If you was Hoggle Bully itself, and most thrifty, like you was taking water still, what or where was your like to lay the cable, or who was the batter could better your grace? Mick McMagnus Macaulay can take you off to the pure perfection, and Leatherbags Reynolds tries your shuttle and cup. But as Hopkins and Hopkins put it, you with a pale eggy naggy and a kiss to Tilliop. We calls him the journey old buggerlot, since he went Jerusalem faring in Arctia Manor. You had a gamier cock than Pete Jake or Martin, and your arch goose of geese stubbled for all angels' day. So may the priest of 7 worms and scalding tay-boil, Papa Vestre, come never near you as your hair grows wheater beside the Liffey that's in heaven. Hep, hep, hurrah there, hero, 7 times there too we salute you. The whole bag of kits, falcon plumes and jackboots enclosed is where you flung them that time. Your heart is in the system of the she-wood, and your crested head is in the tropic of Coprica. Your feet are in the cloister of Virgo, your Ola lies in the region of Dobbs, and that's as sure as you were born. Your shock ticks well, and that's their Texas, says Tolinen, the lonesome roam to Lafayette is ended. Drop in your tracks, babe, be not unrested. The head bottle watcher of the temple of Isis, Totem Talmum, saith, I know thee, Metadraw, I know thee, salvation boat, for we have performed upon thee, thou abomination, who comest ever without being invoked, whose coming is unknown, all the things which the company of the precentors and of the grammarians of Christ Patrick's ordered concerning thee in the matter of the work of thy tombing. How of the shipmen, steep wall. Everything's going on the same, or so it appeals to all of us in the old homestead here. Puffings all over the sanctuary, that's scrapped to me, Aunt Lorenda. The horn for breakfast, one a gong for lunch and dinner chime, as popular as when Belly the First was king and his members met in the diet of man. The same shop slop in the window, Jacob's lettercrackers, and Dr. Tipple's rye cocoa, and the Esward's dissipated soup beside Mother Seagull's syrup. Meat took a drop when Riley Parsons says, coal's short, but we've plenty of bog in the yard. And barley's up again, big grains to it. The lads is attending school lessons regular, sir, selling bees knees with hatatency and turning out tables by modification. All for the books, and never pegging smashes after Tombo glass arse or Timmy the Tosser. 'Tis rarely the truth, no isn't it, Roman Catholic? You were the double-jointed janitor the morning they were delivered, and you'll be a grand forget entirely when the right hand sees what the love arm knows. Kevin's just a dote, with his cherub cheek, chalking ogres on walls, and his little lamp and stool belt and bag of nicks, playing postman's knock round the diggings, and if a seek were milk you could lead his old by his eye, but law's sake, the devil does be in that nurse of a Jerry sometimes, the tarrant-hand flat boy, making an cost of income out of the last of his ladings, and writing a blue streak over his birthday shirt. Hetty Jane's the child of Mary. She'll be coming, for they're sure to choose her, in her white of gold with a torch of ivy, to rekindle the flame on Felix Day. But Essie Shanahan has let down her skirts. You remember Essie in our Luna's convent? They called her Holly Mary. Her lips were so ruddy berry, and Pia de Pure Bell when the Red Miners riot stood on about her. Were I a clerk designate to the Williams Woods manufacturer, I'd poster those pouters on every jam in town. She's making her rep at Lanners twice nightly, with the tabarine tam-tammers of the whirligig McGee's. Beats that could shoot you flat. 'Twould dilate your heart to go. Easy now, you decent man with your knees, and lie quiet, and repose your honour's lordship. Hold him here, Ezekiel Iron, and may God strengthen you. It's our worn spirits, boys, he's spooling. Demetrius O'Flanagan, Cork, that cure for the clan carcass. You swamped enough since Portobello to float the Pomeroy. Fetch me here, Pat Coy, and fetch no you, Pam Yates. Be neither angst of Ramowich. Here's Lumbos, where mist is swaddled, where mischief's lodge none, where mysteries told kind none. Oh, sleepy. So be it. I've an eye on queer being, and old Kate on the butter, trust me. She'll do no juggly-wuggly with her war souvenir postcards to help to build manurial tippers. I'll trip your traps. Assure there. And we put on your clock again, Sir for you. Did or didn't we, share stutterers? So you won't be up a stump entirely, nor shed your remnants. The stern wheel's crawling strong. I seen your missus in the hall, like the Queen of Air. Ah, right, herself, that's fine too, don't be talking. Shirks then. You story and Harry chap, long Harry chap, story and grass woman, plenty good trout. Shakes hand. Divil a hayfork's wrong with her, only her legs is Sally. Gold Tib does the yawning and smirking cat's hours on the Pollux' woolly round tabaret cushion, watching her sewing a dream together, the tailor's daughter, stitched to her lap. Or, while waiting for winter to fire the enchantment, decoying more nesters to fall down the flue. It's an avalanche that blows no pussy food. If you only were there to explain the meaning best of men and talk to her nice of gold and silver, the lips would moisten once again, as when you drove with her to Findlay fair. What with wains here and ribbons there, all your hands were employed, though she never knew was she on land or at sea, or swooped through the blue like Airwinger's bride. She was flirtsome then, and she's fluttersome yet. She can second the song and adores a scandal when the last post's gone by. Fond of a concertina and pears passing when she's had a 40 winks for supper, after cane cannon and abbey dimping, and is in her Merlin chair asotted, reading her evening world, to see if it smarts, full length, or swaggers. News, all the news. Death a leopard, his fella in Fez, angry scenes at Stormont. Still a star with her lucky and going aways. Opportunity fair with the China flood, and we hear these rosy rumours, ding-tams, he noise about all same Harry chap. She's seeking her way, a chickle chuckle, in and out of that serial story, les loves of Selska Aetherbank, freely adapt to the no virgins did. There'll be bluebells blowing in salty sepulchres the night she signs her final teeth. The end. But that's a world of ways away, till Dracula's time. No silver ash or switches for that one, while flackering candles flare. Anastasis, how are you? Worth her waist in the noblest, says Adams and Sons, the would-pay actioneers. Her hair's as brown as ever it was, and willy and wavy. Repose you now, fin no more. For, be that same sacred substitute of a hooky salmon, there's already a big roddy ram lad at random on the premises of his haunt of the 100 Bordels, as it is told me, shot illicit, flourishing like a Lord Major or a boa bome, living flop a dead lop a loose to leave and lifting a Ben Branch yard along Ivoy on the breezy side for Shome. The height of Brewster's chimney, and as broad below as Phineas Barnum, humping his share of the shouters, is sinking on him, he's such a grandfather, with a pocked wife in pickle that's a fly fire, and 3 lice-nibbled blinkers, 2 twilling bugs, and 1 midget to sell. And either he cursed and recursed, and was ever seen doing what your four-footers saw, or he was never done seeing what you cool pigeons know, weep the clouds aboon for smile-down witnesses, and that'll do now about the fairy he's and the frailty she. So et it fiblet to the settle, and arts to zoom it round her heaven forever. Creator, he has created for his creatured ones a creation. White monozoid, red theatrocrat, and all the pink prophets cohaletting? Very much so, but however 'twas, 'tis sure for one thing what Sheriff Torah voucher for, and that kick makes put us, that the man, Tom the Chiefna-esque, overseen as we thought him, yet a worthy of the name, came at this time-coloured place, where we live in our parochial firmament, one tide on another, with a bum rush and a hull of a ferry, the twin turbine dow, the bay for dipping, this archipelago's first visiting schooner, with a whitlow pattern waxen wench at her prow for a figurehead, the dead sea dugong up dip dripping from his depths, and has been repreaching himself like a fish mama these 60-10 years ever since, his sherry by his side, Ardie and Aid, growing whorish under his turban, and changing cane sugar into seculo starch, twin. As also the fat and the bulky when he bloats about when inebriated, our old offender was humile, commune, and incestuous from his nature, which you may gauge after the by-names was put under him in lashons of languages, on in suit and praisers be, and totalizating him, even Hannes him of Himison, but he, sober serious, he is he, and no counter he, who will be ultimately responsible for the hubbub caused in Edinburgh. Now, to forbear for ever so little of Iris Trees and Lily Orangans concerning the genesis of Harold or Humphrey Timpton's occupational agnomen, we are back in the pre-surnames quadromerous period, of course, just when Enos chalked horse-hats, and discarding once for all those theories from older sources which would link him back with such pivotal ancestors as the Blues, the Gravies, the Northeasts, the Anchors, and the Ericas of Silesham in the Hundred of Manhood, or proclaim them offsprout of Vikings who had founded Wapentake and settled them in Herrick or Eric. The best authenticated version, the Dumlat, read the reading of Prophet Ben Hadar, has it that it was this way. We are told how in the beginning it came to pass that like Cabbaging Cincinnatus, the grand old gardener was saving daylight under his redwood tree one sultry Sabbath afternoon, Hag Chilly Chass Eve, in pre-fall paradise peace, by following his plough for wootles in the rear garden of Mob House, the old Marine Hotel, when royalty was announced by Runner to have been pleased to have halted itself on the high road, along which a leisure-loving dog fox had passed, followed also at a walking place by a lady pack of cocker spaniels. Forgetful of all, save his vassals, plain fealty to the ethnarch, Humphrey, or Harold, stayed not to yoke or saddle, but stumbled out hot-faced as he was, his sweatful bandana loose from his pocket coat, hasting to the forecourts of his public inn toupee, surcingle, solar scarf and plaid, crossfalls, puttees and bulldog boots, ruddled cinnabar with flagrant marl, jingling his turnpike keys, and bearing aloft amid the fixed pikes of the hunting party, a high perch atop of which a flower pot was fixed, earthside hoist with care. On his Majesty, who was, or often feigned to be, noticeably long-sighted from green youth, and had been meaning to inquire what, in effect, had caused yon causeway to be thus potholed, asking substitutionally to be put wise as to whether Paternoster and silver doctors were not now more fancied bait for lobster trapping, honest, blunt Aromfeld answered, in no uncertain tones very similarly, with a fearless forehead. No, your maggers, we're just a catching on bloggy air rollers. Our sailor king, who was draining a goblet of obvious Adam ale, gift both and Gorban, upon this, ceasing to swallow, smiled most heartily beneath his walrus moustaches, and indulging that none too genial humour which William the Conk on the spindle side had inherited with the hereditary white lock and some short-fingeredness from his great aunt Sophie, turned towards two of his retinue of gallows glasses, Michael, Etheling Lord of Leish and Otterley, and the Jubilee Mayor of Drogheda Elcock, the two scatterguns being Michael M. Manning, proto-syndic of Waterford, and an Italian excellency named Jubilee, according to a later version, cited by the learned scholar Canavan of Can Make Noise. In either case, a cryptical religious family, symbolizing puritas of doctrina, business per usuals, and the perchy patch of Hanlock where the parish creties grow, and remarked dulcet-dulcetly, Holy bones of St. Hubert, how our red brother of pouring Grania would audibly fume, did he know that we have for Sir Trusty Bailiwick a turnpiker, who is by turns a pike bailer no seldomer than an earwigger. For he kin John Peel with his court so grey and his haunts in his house in the morning. One still hears that pebble-crusted laughter, jappy jap cheery cherily among the roadside trees the Lady Home Patrick planted, and still one feels the emossive silence of the clad stone, a ledgy belling, I've knees outside born. Comes the question, are these the facts of his nominee gentilization, as recorded and accoladed in both or either of the collateral anthropomorphic narratives? Are those their fata, which we read in Sibylline between the fast and its nefas? No dung on the road? And shall Nohomaya be our taste like? Yea, Molochi, our kingable Khan? We shall perhaps not so soon see. Think onks let bail for seeks a license where conceptors with centaurs stay. Bear in mind, son of Hokmah, if so be you have meteg in your midness, this man is mountain, and unto changer doth one ascend. He who asides the fallacy, as punicle as Finnegan, that it was not the king himself, but his inseparable sisters, uncontrollable night porters, scarcely raised with Dunyazad, who afterwards, when the robbers shot up the socialites, came down into the world as amusers, and were staged by Madame Sudlow as Rosa and Lily Mistingett in the pantomime The Two Fitz Patronos, Miliodorus and Galatea. The great fact emerges that after that historic date, all holographs so far exhumed, initialed by Humphrey, bear the sigla H.C.E. And while he was only and long and always good Duke Humphrey for the Hungaline Spalpeens of Luca Lizard and Chimbers to his cronies, it was equally certainly a pleasant turn of the populace, which gave him, as sense of those normative letters, the nickname, Here Comes Everybody. An imposing everybody he always indeed looked, constantly the same as and equal to himself, and magnificently well worthy of any and all such universalization, every time he continually surveyed, amid vociferating from in front of accept these few nutties, and take off that white hat, relieved with stop his grog, and put it in the log, and loots in his brass vocal boots. From good start to happy finish, the truly Catholic assemblage gathered together in that king's treat house of satin and lustre like about floats and footlights, from their asball helps and ox gangs, unanimously to applaud the inspiration of his lifetime and the hits of their careers, Mr. Wallenstein Washington Semper Kelly's Emma Green Tourers, in a command performance by special request, with a courteous permission for pious purposes, the home-grown and enlivened performance of the problem passion play of the millenary, running strong since creation, a royal divorce, then near the approach towards the summit of its climax, with ambitious interval band selections from the Bull Girl and the Lily on all horsery show command nights. From his vice-regal booth, his Barcelona is ceilings there a cuckoo spit less eminent than the red ritual hoods of McCabe and Cullen, where a veritable Napoleon the Nth, our world stage's practical joke piece and retired Celtico comedian in his own wise, this folk's forefather all of the time sat, having the entirety of his house about him, with the invariable broad-stretched kerchief cooling his whole neck, nape, and shoulder blades, and in a wardrobe-panelled tuxedo, completely thrown back from a shirt well entitled a swallow-all, on every point far outstarching the laundered claw hammers and marble-topped highboys of the pit stalls and early amphitheatre. The piece was this. Look at the lads. The cast was thus. See under the clock. Ladies settle, folks may be left. Fit, comma, and parterre, standing room only. Habituals conspicuously emergent. A basic